I was good. Open book, your astrologer representing true space. And this video is race doesn't exist. The yin yang spectrum. So, what do I mean, or what am I talking about? So, like I said before in my other video, we're all spirits. And spirits are no thing. It's just space, essence. No thing. There's no smell to spirit. There's no shape and form to spirit. It is the space that holds. It's the potential to be. It's the potential to become. Now, when a spirit becomes aware of itself and its potential to be something, it wants to jump into a vessel that resonates with its essence to have experiences and develop more awareness. Now, your spirit is a slice. But your spirit is a slice of the overall, which is infinite and has no end. So you're infinite. So as a spirit on its journey to expand and contract and be aware, it takes multiple vessels and one after another. Because you can't possibly be aware. Just look at that example within your life. You can't possibly be aware of everything that's on earth and experience everything that the human experience can offer within one lifetime. It's impossible. Well, it's possible for you to stack and compress a whole bunch of experiences into one lifetime. Well, there's kids who are fucking 12 years old who experience more trials and tribulations and more reality than fucking 30-year-olds who've been living in La La Land their whole lives, or have been deprived of having certain experiences, or had their reality set on one specific direction of experiences instead of broadening their awareness. So this is how we have reincarnation. Earth is like a spiritual training ground where spirits can come in here and enter vessels and experience and become aware and expand their consciousness to inhabit bigger vessels. Some people's spirits have been here for eons. Like, I don't think people understand, like, a lot of the demons we call or look at the elite or look at certain figures as holding us back or suppressing us from really reaching our full level of consciousness. But you have to understand that the mentalities that they picked up, or the spirits that they're following, because we're all following spirits regardless, because we live within a spirit, and spirits have come here before and laid their footprints in the sand, so nothing new under the sun. This is what they're talking about. Another spirit has already lived and passed and expanded its idea and is exerting influence on you by simply having existed and leaving its the residue of its experience here for us to take in. The thoughts and ideas that they have is literally trapped in Earth's atmosphere. Literally. The feelings that they had is in the water. Literally. You're literally swimming in your ancestors. But so yeah, we've been trapped here for a long time, or not necessarily even trapped, because it's a spiritual playground. But there have always been demons, aka spirits using demonic energy, which is just separation energy, which is more of that left brain energy, that separation energy, that yang energy. But gonna get into that. But you would get stuck here when you can't expand your mind beyond material shit. So, and you can tell this by your dreams. And when you die, that's exactly where you go, into your dreams. Now, what do I mean by that? Your dreams represent your subconscious mind and your true natures. It's the thoughts and the emotions that you have collected and had. Maybe you're not always 100% conscious of, but it's those things that have built up within you and that you have experienced. Now, when you dream and you don't have dreams that go beyond physical reality, and I'm not necessarily talking about everything's blue and all of that shit, nor am I not talking about that shit, but it's more of like things aren't limited. Like obviously you can have dreams about, I don't know, waking up in your fucking old school or something like that, or reliving a childhood memory, or things like that. But when your dreams mimic the earth, the material world, so parallel, that's what you're building up in your subconscious mind. Those are the energies that you're paying attention to. Those are the thoughts. That's what you're developing thoughts and emotions around. So when you reincarnate, and that's going to show up in your dreams. So when you reincarnate, because your subconscious mind is what stays, what you put your conscious into changes within different lifetimes, but your subconscious records everything across all lifetimes. It's always recording. It never stops. So when you reincarnate, and these are the things that you're paying attention to, and it shows within your dreams, this is what you're going to reincarnate. This is the energy that your spirit is holding on to. This is the spirit, the energy that your spirit is aware of, or what it's conscious of, and what it's comfortable jumping into. So that's what you're going to keep on jumping into. And then there's specific spirits here that influence us, that try to keep us within that vibration, or try to keep us entertained or within this worldly stuff, so that we keep on coming back here, so that our energy can be siphoned. But expanding beyond this point is it's hard. It's not no easy task. If it was easy, you wouldn't be here right now. You would be off traveling galaxies in your Merkaba, your light body. You would expand past a physical vessel and just be pure light. But that's another video. Yeah. So they're trying to get you stuck in their devil, which is just lived backwards, which is the spirit's footprints that have left here, that we're getting tempted to sin. And when you sin, you'll get tempted to go to hell, which is eternal fire. Or they always tell you hell and heaven, eternal hell or eternal bliss. But both versions of those, you live that out on earth, within these lives, within all your lives, whatever vessel that you're living in. You can either live in eternal hell, or you can live in eternal light, heaven. And eternal hell would be somebody else's light, somebody else's fire, light. This is what they're talking about. Fire represents imagination. Fire represents the image, the picture. Fire is spiritual energy. So when you're giving your spiritual energy to somebody else's imagination, when you're giving your spiritual energy to anybody else, you get put in hell. You get put in spiritual hell. And how long it takes for you to break out is how long you're going to be there. It will last eternal. Same thing when you follow your own spiritual energy. When you coincide within yourself, and when you as a spirit see the utmost or the highest image that you would love to inhabit, and you hold and you're able to pay attention to that or be within that energy, you'll be within eternal heaven. Now, kind of both of them is kind of those concepts, they kind of get you stuck in death, because that's stagnant energy. Nothing in any realm of reality is simply stagnant. Everything is constantly changing, constantly expanding. I told you the nature of God in the last video. It's always expanding and contracting. It's not staying stagnant. It's expanding or it's contracting. The universe or God seeing something stagnant, it reads it as dead. It doesn't know. It goes by energy and what's being put out. If you're not pushing out any light or receiving anything, it's just gonna assume that you're dead, or that's you might as well, because you're mimicking things that are dead, or you're living in that energy. So I'm explaining all of this to show you that based on your thoughts and your emotions, you jump into as a spirit, based on what you choose to be aware of. What frequency and vibration you stay in as a spirit creates the physical vessel that you inhabit, if you stay long enough within that frequency of vibration to fall into density in the esoteric realm, where it consists of thoughts and emotions and these things on a lighter spectrum. You are light. That's why you hear light beings and all of that, because you yourself are light. Fuck the sun, nigga. You have your own solar plexus. You shine your own light. Fuck that or what they got going on. You have these virtues. You have all of the planets within you. Crown chakra, that's Saturn. Your third eye chakra, that's Jupiter. Your throat chakra, your truth chakra, that's your Venus. Heart chakra, that's Earth. Your stomach or your solar plexus, that's the sun. Your sacral chakra, that's Mercury. Your root chakra, that's Mars. So you have these things within you. Not saying, necessarily fuck these things, or that they're not important, that they don't have influence within your life, but stop giving these things so much energy, and understand that you yourself are a God, that you yourself are a universe. You yourself command billions upon billions of conscious beings within your own physical vessel, because your cells have their own conscious minds within them and do their own things. Your organs pump by themselves. All of them are living out their own lives. So you are light. Don't believe me? Zoom in on an atom and tell me what you see. And tell me that motherfucker is not consisted or made up of a bunch of photons. This is what quantum physics is dealing with. They're seeing how these photons move. And if you had more thoughts, or put more attention on the thought side, you manifest a male body. And if you put more emotions, or more of your attention to your emotions or the emotional side, you manifest a female vessel. The spirit is androgynous. The real nature of you, the real you, your essence is androgynous. So don't get lost in male and female, because everything has a yin and yang, and I'll explain that. Because women isn't like pure, females aren't pure yin energy. They're not pure feminine energy, because they are a representation of man. They're mankind. They actually have a physical body. They're pushing out light. Therefore, they embody masculine energy. So them themselves aren't entirely yin. Them themselves entirely aren't feminine energy, because they're exuding a presence. They have physical bodies. So we're all representations of men. But it's just where you fall on the spectrum. It's all a percentage level. So, and yeah, I'm going to get into that. So, spirit is androgynous. Now, you are made up of, and pay attention. Yeah, I was basically just saying that. So, this is the yin and yang spectrum. And depending on where you resonate with on this spectrum, how much energy, what percentage level of attention you're giving to thought, what percentage level you're giving to your emotion, as a spirit, experiencing things through a vessel, and once that spirit passes, all of those experiences that had collected, and what was left is what you're gonna resonate with to fall back into density into another vessel, or what you're gonna use to hop into another vessel. So depending on what side of the spectrum you're on or what level of the spectrum you're on, depends what type of physical body you're gonna manifest. Fair skin or white people is yang energy. Look at how it's that push off energy, it's that positive energy. Don't believe me? Look at how light reacts to the color white. How if there's a bunch of snow, light's just gonna reflect off of it. It's going to bounce off because why? That color vibrates on the more on the yang side, that push off energy, which is why light is pushed off of it. So when you're on that more of that yang side, the thought realm, the push off realm, you manifest more of a fair skin, white body. This happens on the esoteric realm first, and then it falls down into density. So if you have dark skin or black skin, you fall on the side of the yin energy, the receptive energy, the female energy, because you are absorbing light. Look at how black reacts to light. It absorbs that light. It takes it in and it captures it. It's receptive. So it falls more onto the yin side of that spectrum. This is how you were moving as a spirit way before a physical body. So, but remember, everything has a yin and yang. Even yin and yang itself. Yin and yang. So yeah. Here, let me show you an example. So, this is the... Make the motherfucking focus. Shit, focus. Yeah, basically, I can't even really see it. I'll just do it with my hands. So basically, it's a spectrum. Say yin on this side and yang on this side. So it's within this spectrum. There's a yin and yang to everything because it's a spectrum. So even though I'm closer to the yin side, as I transition through the spectrum, I'm getting closer to the yang side. Yet I'm still at yin, but I'm adding more percentage of that yang energy to my adding more percentage of that yang energy. So the yin would be more like yin yin, if you want to be technical. But yeah, the yin yin would be the black woman or dark skinned women, because they manifested the dark body and a feminine vessel. Now they still have that certain percentage of yang energy because they're physical bodies when they came into this physical realm of reality, but they're the closest to pure yin as you're going to see. And then as you move throughout that spectrum, you're getting more into the yang energy. And then that yin yang, you'll get that black male. The black male. So it has the black physical vessel, but it's masculine, or it's expressing more of the masculine energy than it was previously. And then that yang yin, getting on more to this side of the spectrum, would be like the fair skin and wider women. They still express the yin energy because they're feminine, but they fall more onto the yang side of the spectrum. It's more of a pushing out, a pushing out of light instead of completely being receptive, even though they still have that traits. Because a woman's body, even look at the body shapes. Men are more pointed. They're more assertive or straight. It kind of, when light comes at it, it bounces right off of it. It's sitting at a straight angle and it bounces off. But a woman is curvy, so light kind of, grooves itself around a woman's body. So this is how it works, or on that spectrum. And then yang yang would be white males, or white or fair skinned males, that pushing out energy. Now this is what you resonated with, or this is what energy you had when you had died, or as a spirit, the energy that you had collected. And that determines which side of the spectrum will come into this realm of reality. Doesn't mean that if you're on this side of the spectrum that you're limited to only yang energy, because that's not all that exists in this realm of reality. And you can still collect more thoughts and feelings. And then say if you were resonating within that lifetime, even being on the yang spectrum, you resonated with that yin energy, and that's really where you devoted most of your attention to. And your next life, if you were to come back, if you didn't expand beyond that, or even in a higher vessel, you may take more of a feminine or a darker vessel, or you can come back as a human and take more of a darker vessel or more of a feminine vessel. But this is how that works. And with that understanding, or with that science, it kind of destroys race, because you understand that we're all on the same spectrum, and that you've lived multiple lives, and depending on your experiences, what you're paying attention to is what made you. So within my last life, I was on that yin side, or that receptive energy, but pushing it back out. I was taking in and pushing back out, or that's what I was focusing on, that yin yang in that spectrum, and then manifested a black body. And you can go into even saying how black people are moon gods and white people are sun gods, but that's a different video. But yeah, this was race doesn't exist. It's all on the yin yang spectrum. I hope y'all understand that. You kind of have to really get into your spiritual natures to understand stuff like this, and leave behind past previous concepts and ideas that really hold you back from understanding the grand overall, because God is all possibilities. So nothing is limited. So once you close your mind or put yourself in a box, you will never